Green Beret is the ultimate warrior for the asymmetric battlefields of the 21st century.
People think of them as this elite fighting force, and it can be that, but our main job was to be teachers, to go in and teach other people how to do the fighting.
The ability to use a few advisors to create a large-scale force behind enemy lines is why Green Berets call themselves force multipliers. One 12-man team would be inserted into an area of Vietnam and raise a brigade of trained and armed fighters. 12 became 150, 400, or even 1,000. Force multiply. Green Berets are highly skilled, highly trained warriors. They are combat teachers and masters of multiple weapon systems.
100 Special Forces soldiers did what the entire Russian army couldn't do in Afghanistan.
Warriors able to thrive in a hostile environment like Afghanistan don't grow on trees. That's why Green Beret training is the most unique in the military world.
When I was in Special Forces, we were able to do very high-intensity, realistic combat training.
The Green Berets are flexible and creative warriors, trained to talk politics with an Afghan warlord and to storm a building of insurgents. The Green Beret is the warrior for the post-9/11 world.
Your Lone Rangers, your Rambo type of people really don't make it. It's more your quiet, thoughtful person. Those people who show up and just want to get a Green Beret and wear it on their head, they usually don't make it through.
Maturity, intelligence, and judgment, all qualities prized by Special Forces. Key attribute? Being able to think on their feet.
Number one would have to be flexibility and adaptability, because you're dealing with situations that really are not found in any textbook, circumstances that are not even foreseeable in a training environment.
This can't be taught in the classroom. Experience is the only way. That's why Special Forces have devised the most unique finishing school in the military world. 19 days spent in an elaborately constructed fictional country. This is Robin Sage.
The exercise occurs down in the mountains of North Carolina with a lot of local residents playing roles of either townspeople who need to be recruited to support the guerrilla movement or actual guerrillas. So it's a very elaborate role-playing exercise.
Established in 1964, Robin Sage is a key weapon in the Special Forces locker. Named after Special Forces Colonel Jerry Sage, and Robbins, a town near Fort Bragg, it tests wannabes to the max. Recruits are parachuted from C-130s into the mythical state of Pineland. Tooled up with all the weaponry needed for a real mission, they seek out guerrilla forces. In reality, Pineland is 4,500 square miles of North Carolina. Trainees can never relax in Pineland. One day they're given the runaround by young would-be guerrillas. The next, they're facing a complex moral dilemma.
They would have situations where a person may have been a traitor, and of course in the United States, that individual would get a fair trial. Well, in Robin Sage, they more or less have a flying court-martial, and they execute the individual on the spot, and it puts the American soldiers, the Special Forces soldiers, in a very awkward position. That's exactly the kind of lose-lose environment they put you in that training.
Robin Sage is as close to a real Special Forces mission as humanly possible. One Green Beret described his first combat posting to Afghanistan as Robin Sage on steroids.
Basically, what they're watching you for all the time is to see how you react. Even if you get it wrong, at least they want to see if you're thinking it through. Because a lot of people just want to bowl their way through or act like the infantry would act and just use force of power. They want you to think. It's very different from the regular army.
From the state-of-the-art HK-416 to a 100-year-old Colt, the Green Beret is master of weapons. But what makes Special Forces so powerful is a unique ability to know when to fight and when to talk.
That's the whole thing about Special Forces and guerrilla tactics. You go after the enemy on your terms, not theirs.
Drawn together, the branches on their family tree reflect their unique genesis. The force multipliers of the OSS, the science of precision bombing, and state-of-the-art weaponry come together to form the most sophisticated infantry unit in the world.